because so the first movie this movie made me think of was Scorsese's Silence. Did any of you see that one?
Yeah, we both seen that, I'm pretty sure.
I saw it a few years ago.
Okay, yeah. So the connection is there on a content level because both are about priests traveling, going to a different land, being kind of a stranger in a strange land.
Right, having their faith tested.
Yeah. Now the difference is that I think Godland, to me, to me it was almost like a Protestant Silence, because Martin Scorsese, very Catholic, and when you watch Silence, it's very character focused. It's very much about how the characters are having their faith tested or strengthened or diminished in various ways. Whereas this movie, to me, and I think this worked against it for me, which is that it feels very detached. It's a very cold movie. Yeah. And God in this movie, to me, whereas like in Silence, I would say God is sort of almost a character that the characters can have a relationship with. Whereas in this movie, this movie's version of God is a very, I guess is the word deism.
Right, like indifferent, right?
Yeah, a non-interventionist kind of nature God.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting, and also just the fact that the movie has almost no soundtrack, where the soundtrack is essentially water, a river rushing, or wind blowing, or birds chirping.
Yeah, I was kind of joking with William about that. Like, there were some ASMR vibes with just how much we get a look at, like, kind of just a lot of diegetic sound and, like, just really calming and repetitive sounds. Like, all his different actions and stuff, like preparing, like, an old animal for, like, cooking. Like, it's all showing, like, great detail, great, like sound work. Like, yeah, hardly any music at all. Like you said, it's sparse.
Yeah, that actually really worked for me, though. Like, I think Silence is a great comparison to make, where it really feels like they're in conflict with the Japanese Inquisition for me more than anything, and like there's a lot more sort of I guess direct conflict. Where with Godland, it really feels like God is just this uncaring, like you said, indifferent sort of force of nature, like he's in conflict with Iceland itself.
The director also brought up, when he was talking about his influences, Ingmar Bergman, who, this is Criterion Channel, which has like a lot of Ingmar Bergman stuff on it. So this is relevant. So Ingmar Bergman, religion was like a big part of his movies. And like the way he deals with it is more intellectual, where he's kind of like intellectualizing things. He's kind of like working through concepts in his head.
Okay.
And whereas in this movie, again, it's like God exists as a backdrop or as a world, and then the characters are just kind of like in it. So he deals with religion in a way that is, in my opinion, probably the least interesting way you could deal with it.